Kelly's here with us from Rare Earth. Come and join us. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. How are you? Well,
good.
Good to meet you as
yes,
well.
I was going to say our first time.
But our first time in front of the camera.
Yeah.
This is your fourth visit?
Third visit.
Okay. So tell us a bit about yourself. Welcome back, I should say, first of all.
Thank you.
So how long have you yourself been a crafter?
I think I've been a crafter since I could walk.
Okay.
I stole my mum's sewing machine when I was about 12 years old and then just made things for friends and stuff. And then I got into stamping about 6 or 7 years ago.
And when you started stamp, was it mainly for cards?
It was, yeah, it was for cards. A friend of mine was running a class and I went along because I was interested.
Yeah.
And then the birth of my child, Theo, he's 2.5. After his birth, it was in November, I couldn't go out of the house, so I was just I really want to do Christmas cards. Yes, yeah. So that was it. I ordered the stuff in, and I haven't looked back.
Right.
I like always stamping, but with stamps, it's not just cards now.
No.
There's so many other things you can do with stamps, which is amazing. That's why I love it.
Now, we're going to do some home decor in the show, aren't we?
We are.
Most certainly. Well, we'll get there as quickly as we can. But listen, let's talk about exactly where you'll get to. We're actually rather handy with some boards down here as well, which do two things. It means you can see exactly the 4 different collections, which are available individually if you want to go that route. Lovely. All right, let's take a look at some of the examples we've got here. By the way, on that large collection of botanical alphabets, already over 10% of the stock has gone. It's 477649. 3 flexi pays available across everything you see on your TV screen. There's also some items online that have 3 flexis, but everything you see on the TV will. It's 477649. We're going to jump into our first demo, if that's what you, Kelly.
So what we're
going to do?
We're going to start with a card.
Okay.
A card, and it's a card that I really enjoyed making, actually.
All right, good.
I'm actually going to use a couple of products that we don't have on the show, but Rare Earth are fantastic with a lot of things they bring us. So I've got some of the... Let's pick up the right colour.
Okay.
So I've got the blackbird,
Yes.
and I'm going to just create a bit of a background for this particular card.
Okay. Now, is this a heat resistant?
This is a Teflon mat.
Okay.
I have several of them, and I cut them down. So then I've got one for doing my inks, and one for my paints, because I do a lot of home decor things.
Sure.
So they are so useful.
Okay.
So cut them down, but you can buy them in many places.
Well, one
and
comes
here,
included with the heat gun, or the heat tool that we have for you as well.
I don't know if I would cut that one up though.
No. I think it's about that size, from what I remember.
It's a good size. It is a good size. Sorry, having a nightmare.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do a little bit of quick stenciling, just to create a bit of a background with my dusting brush.
Okay.
So I've put some ink down. I've added a little bit of water just to dilute it slightly because I don't want it too strong.
Okay.
And I'm just, with this one, brushing. You can do circular motions, but for this, I'm just going to brush.
Sam, would you mind have a look? I'm sure there aren't any, because otherwise they'd be on the show. Do we have any of the dusting brushes available in stock? Because you're right, they've always proved very, very fun.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
And they're super soft as well. Really, really soft. I'm just going to see if there are any online.
I have several sets of these.
Right.
And some I keep for particular ink colours or ink families.
Oh, right, yes.
So in the side of my tote, I've got ink families.
Yes, unfortunately, they're not in stock at the moment.
It's a shame, but they are. If you can get hold of them, they are definitely worth getting. So I've just created this kind of black, liney background.
Nice. It's like a zebra.
It is a little bit. So now down to our stamp thing.
Yes. Now you're using the load and fold.
I'm using my load and fold. This is actually the reason how I got to where I am today here. Okay. So I phoned up a year or so ago saying that I use this in classes.
Right.
And that it's changed some of my ladies' lives, the fact that they can actually stamp because they find acrylic blocks unusable. Because a couple of people I work with have dexterity issues, so they can't always lift the blocks.
Right, okay.
And this has just changed. This is a whole new ball game, so they can stamp and watercolour to their heart's content, which is absolutely fantastic. I wrote in and said this is what I do with it, and I've been invited on since then.
So really, so it's down to the load and fold.
It is down to the load and fold.
If we didn't have the load and fold, I would be talking to an empty space right now.
Possibly.
We still go to air.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, possibly.
Well, there we go, my word. Now listen, if you want to go for the load and fold, you can see exactly how Kelly's using it. It's designed so that if you do struggle with your larger acrylic blocks, which you need for a larger stamp, that's the thing of the past, ensures you can be exactly if your first generation inking or stamp doesn't work, then obviously you can re-ink because the card won't move, and then you can ensure that you get that perfect impression every single time.
So if you don't get that, that's a really good impression. First stamp, brilliant impression. So I'm now just going to do my sentiment, because this is a little bit bling bling, this one. What way is it? That way.
Now already, when it comes to the larger collection, remember these are brand new stamps that we've got for you today. 100 stamps in total, the Botanical Alphabet Selection. 15% of that stock has gone. It's 477649. Available on 3 flexi payments. Wasn't meant to be. It was all part of the weekend savers. 3 flexi payments, which means that all you pay today is £13.79. And if you go for 3 or more items, all you're going to pay is £2.99 postage and packaging.
Right. So we've got a lovely...
Nicely done.
Nicely done. If you do worry that it's going to move, you can just use some low tack tape just to take a corner.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
You know,
hold your card or paper in place. Because the stamp isn't going to go anywhere because it just clings.
It does, yeah. The stamp's not going to go anywhere. No. So for this, I wanted to do a bit of gold. So I've actually got the Rare Earth Gold Pigment ink pad. Now you're probably thinking, how am I going to get the ink onto there? I'm going to use one of my multimedia brushes.
Lovely.
And this particular one is just for me doing this.
Okay.
So I don't use this brush for anything else because of the style of ink it is, the pigment ink. I don't want to contaminate other ink pads.
Okay.
And I literally just take it straight to the ink pad in the corner, and then we can just paint in the colour.
Oh, nice.
And just give that kind of aged gold look.
Yes, almost like a gilded and an antique-gilded effect, if you will.
Which, you know, I love a bit of gold on a card.
Well,
I like a bit of sparkling.
Well, it elevates it, doesn't it? You know, if you add anything metallic onto a card or any kind of project, it just makes it look that much more expensive, doesn't it? Remember, we've just used 2 of the 100 stamps that you're getting included with your Botanical Alphabet A4 stamp collection. Again, available on 3 flexi payments of £13.79. Really busy on the phone lines and on the website. And don't forget, if you do have 3 or more items into your basket, then your postage packaging is capped at only £2.99.
So I have, so you don't have to just sit and watch me
one you prepared earlier.
One I prepared earlier, and I've just fussy cut it out, which was easy to do. If you do have a scan and cut though, you can put these stamp onto your cardstock, and you can scan and cut will cut it out.
You have permission to do that, yes.
You do, and I've demonstrated that before how it works.
Oh, okay, great.
With products we done a little while ago with Rare Earth.
Sure.
So it is able to be done.
Okay.
The only other thing I've added to this is I've just used a bit of black, and I've just done a couple of flecks through the leaves just to add a little bit of darkness there because it was too white for my liking.
Okay.
I'm using a black card base, which I've just cut down myself and scored.
Yes.
We're going to add in our
that background
elements.
that you created.
Yeah, with our background. Because the Rare Earth inks that you can get are so versatile. You can put them onto ink pads, you can put them in, you can use them to just watercolour with, which is just fantastic. Because sometimes with an ink pad it's really difficult to use it to watercolour. So
yes, true. Yes, they're nice and juicy. You've got enough in there.
You have. So I'm just bringing in a little doily for a bit of... they're pre-cut, but you can scan and cut has some files on there.
Yes, I heard you and Joe catching up with that scan.
I love scan and cut. I love my scan and cut.
It is amazing. It is an amazing piece of equipment. There you go. Look at
that.
There we go. Very stylish card. So again, utilising the background, utilising the doily at the back, which you already have. That was 2 stamps.
Yeah, 2
used
stamps
to create that effect. 2 from the 100 that you're getting included with your Botanical Alphabets A4 stamp collection. We're going to jump into our next demonstration. So what we're going to do?
So we're going to do a little box frame project.
Okay.
And what I love about these large alphabet stamps is they are so large, you know, they really are just a centrepiece in themselves.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do.
All
so I've got now the letters to spell me and
you.
Does
anyone else remember that TV show, kids program, Me and You? Yeah. Oh, well, I don't remember it. Jack, remember that? Here we go, Mark. Do you remember Me and You?
No, sorry.
Oh, well,
I'm not that young though.
oh, no. Well, I mean, when was that? When would you say? That was late 70s, early 80s?
Oh no.
Early 80s, I'd say. Anyway.
So I've put my stamps in. Excuse me. The reason I've done it this way around instead of mounting my stamps on here is so I can fit my cardstock in.
Right,
That's the beauty of the load and fold, is you can use either side.
Yes,
so
you can.
if my cardstock was 12 by 12, I can still fit it in.
Exactly, yes, it's open-ended in that respect.
Which is fab. I am, so I don't move it just in case.
Take it
Just
down.
going to
I think
tape it
that's always wise.
down
I think that's always wise.
to my, just to the board. Hopefully it won't go anywhere. So I'm happy with that. I'm using Stays On because I'm going to be doing a bit of watercolouring.
Okay.
And if you're new to watercolouring, you need to use the opposite. So you need to use an alcohol-based ink to do watercolouring, and you need to use a water-based ink to do alcohol markers.
Yes, absolutely.
So
because otherwise it'll just go into a big brown.
It does. Otherwise, it moves each other around.
Load and fold starting to get popular. Again, I'll show you exactly what you're going to receive. These are the two. Let me get you two there. That's what you're going to receive. These have been well used, but yours will be crystal clear, I assure you. That's 427-890, £26.99. You get two different sizes there. Kelly's obviously using the large one, but you get both. 3 flexi pays available. Right, let's have a look. Oh, nice.
So I have got a little space there that hasn't quite happened.
Okay.
So, and here, so I'm just going to go back in.
Go back on the E and go back on the other side.
And I'm hoping that it's not moved anywhere. And I can just go there, there. And it's straight back on where I need it to be.
That's very good.
So it's nicely done. The problem with stamping is we go through so much cardstock when we sometimes use acrylic blocks because we stamp it and we've mis-inked it, and then you throw that bit of cardstock away.
Yes, exactly.
So
you don't need to.
You don't need to.
You save your cardstock, you save your paper stock by being able to go over in exactly the same place. No one need ever know the first impression maybe wasn't as good as you wanted it to be.
No.
So we're now watercolouring, yes?
Watercolouring. So I've got the Rare Earth watercolour palette,
yes,
which I've got to say is so good. It is as good as some of the professional water palettes that I've used. The colours and the pigments are so strong, and they water down perfectly. So,
do we have that on the show?
No.
Watercolour palette on the show? Is it not on the show? I think it's
No,
something around, you know.
Is it? I'm not surprised. So when it comes back in, do try and get it.
Sure.
So I've watered down my my pigment to create a bit of a grey wash. I'm hoping it's not too strong. I'll probably find it is too. So just to like dull it down slightly, just add a bit more water. And I'm just going to come in and add some water and colour to the letters.
You're using like the edge.
I'm using a fine edge.
Right.
So there are several different size brushes you can use, and I'm using this one because I can get nice straight lines, which complement the actual stamp.
And is it because you use Stays On the reason why it's not, and you're being careful, is it?
I'm being very careful.
Why it isn't bleeding out?
Yeah. So if you don't have a steady hand, I suggest you heat emboss it in black, and then the embossing powder, once it's melted, will create a barrier to hold your actual colour in.
Right, okay. Now, I should have asked this earlier on. Are we okay to give away?
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah, we can give them away.
So if you'd like to go into the Capo Charm to win one of Kelly's creations, you can email us, studio@creatingcraft.com. Equally, we'd love to see what you created using anything from the Rare Earth range. Maybe some of the stamps, maybe utilise some of the other elements that we bring you, or just let us know what difference the load and fold has made to you. You can email us, studio@creatingcraft.com. However, I know it's extremely busy. You're busy ordering at the moment, I get that.
Don't blame you.
No.
Get your hands on it.
Particularly with the 3 flexis, it just makes a real difference, doesn't it? And just ensures economies of scale. 100 stamps, £41.38. And it's 4 sets, so it's just over a tenner a set, isn't it? But again, on 3 flexis, which you can spread the cost, £13.79 plus your P&P, but remember that's capped with 3 or more items. You can see why, well over 20% of that stock
So I'm not going to sit and colour the whole thing because that will take me ages. So I do have one.
Right.
But you can make this in any of your favourite colours, and you can have Mr. and Mrs.
That's a nice idea.
Mr. and Mrs.
Yes.
Mr. and Mr.
Mr. and Mr. Mrs. and Mrs. Exactly right.
If you are planning wedding invitations or any kind of thing that you need letters, this is perfect.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
think if you're someone who maybe offers, and this strikes me as a way to, it's quite cynical, a way to generate funds, wedding invites, because it's the invites that have to be right. It's the most important stationery, generally. I think it's the most important because everyone keeps it, see. It becomes a keepsake. Everyone keeps all of everything when it comes to a wedding, and it needs to be absolutely spot on. That's why people pay premium for it. Because you've got the beautiful floral detail, any name that you want to put on there will be perfect with these stamps.
You can personalise so many things with these. I just think they are. If I wasn't here today doing this, I would have bought this set. 100%. 100%. I would have.
Well, again, good value. But listen, good value is one thing. You need to know the versatility. When you buy anything, I've said this so many times, three things you basically ask yourself. How much is it? How much am I getting? And how long am I going to use it for? Or how long am I going to love it? You can apply that principle to anything that you spend money on. These are letters, so these are never going to have an end date. They're not going to be just for 2019. How much am I getting? 100 stamps. How much are you paying for it? 41.38. You need those two together. Is that good value? I think I have to say they are. And how much do you have to pay today? Only £13.79. All right, so we've got hold of a frame. There we go. Look how effective that is. Not a huge amount. So, okay, we'll jump forward a little.
No, we'll jump forward just with the painting. And actually, when I sat down and painted this, it was really relaxing. It was really relaxing. No, I really enjoyed doing it. So this is something that you can make, you can recreate at home so easily.
Yeah, very easily.
And actually, if you run stalls, because I do craft stalls, people do like these things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
People love these personalised. And if you can say, I can put a name in it, personalised name, personalised date, or whatever it is, you can do that.
Yeah, most certainly. Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
That you brought in. So to highlight how these can be utilised across a number of different styles of cars. Now, this is an interesting pop-up that's been utilised here.
It is.
Nice. Did you?
No. This is the design team.
But again, that's nicely done. So there's some of those flourishes popping out the top. That's quite Victorian.
I love that people have really thought out of the box when they've looked at this stamp set, because there are ideas here that I've gone, oh, I love that.
Yeah, really nice ones.
Amazing.
Very much kind of distressed vintage look, as you can see just there. But this one's very special because you've actually, I was thinking we had acetate to a card. It just adds a little bit of magic on there as well. So again, like Faye, there we go, great example. You can spell that, I can think of two ways you can spell that, with an E or without an E.
Yeah, my best friends with an E.
Right, okay. So there you go, different ways in which it can be spelt. Here's a nice one, quite a simple card, I would say. Yeah. But again, really quite striking, certainly with the addition of black.
I really love how the flowers have been fussy cutted out and added to this. I think it just adds so much depth. And yeah, that's probably one of my favourites. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
This one's been made. I don't know who's made that one. That was made by Nicola, as has this one. And there you can see an aperture cut out. Obviously taken one of the sentiments, matted and layered on black, white card, and then created this border around the aperture. So it almost quite an aperture. It's almost like a wreath, isn't it? Here's another one. Oh, it's got a little bit damage to transport. Hold on, let me just fix that. This is also by Nicola. She's on a roll. Nice background credit there. General wash, using one of the Floribunda. But this one's got a completely different style. Now, I always think that if you've got really nice imagery, you can do this style of card. But it takes a little bit of confidence.
I think that's...
So my hands are full. I don't know who's at the door, but my hands are full. But again, you can see just black and white.
Yeah, I love that. I love that there's just a tiny little pop of mirror behind. I think that's been so nicely done. The centre's been cut out just to create that depth. That's, a lovely card.
That's really nice, that one, isn't it? Let's do one more, just with a little bit. There we go. Another example of what you can create, placing the word thanks. Yeah. Which you can see across those beautiful colours.
It's so versatile. So many words. The opportunities are endless with this.
Very good. All right, so there's some examples in terms of what you can create, but let's create a fresh one, shall we? What are we going to do next?
So we're going to do quite a similar one to this
okay.
in our small squares. So
right.
I've just cut out 4 squares, we're going to create the word love
Okay.
onto a card, because I think that's it's something that I've seen a lot in shops, and actually if you can recreate that yourself, it's personalised.
Yes.
You've done it. You can add your colours. So I think we're gonna go with that. So I've just got the L. I've got a piece of cardstock cut to, I think it's 6 centimetres by 6, and then I'm going to mat that onto some black. I tend to always mat onto black. So position, nice and easy to position. Drop it on. Pick the stamp up. Make sure I've got no air bubbles. If you do have some air bubbles, take it off, redo it again. Make sure there's none in there, because if you do get small air bubble, it will distort the image. And you don't want that. You don't want that.
No.
We want nice, crisp, clear images. If you find, a little tip, if you find when you first stamp that you don't get such a clean image, you might just need to prep your stamps.
And how do you do that?
Just a regular rubber eraser.
Yeah.
Rub over them, brush away the excess. And what that does is there's a bit of a film on your stamps when you first get them, which is a bit too shiny and smooth, and that just removes that. So then the ink then holds to the stamp.
So it's a standard rubber.
It's standard eraser. Yeah. Nothing fancy.
No. Nicely done.
See,
it's actually works as a monogram, isn't it?
It does. I just think that you can't go wrong with this particular stamp set. And yes, it is flowers, but I think you can still make it masculine.
I think so. Absolutely. As I said before, I think if you know someone who's a keen gardener, for example, then this is going to be ideal. I think this would be nice for labelling to use around the garden, in the kitchen, as well, around the craft room as well. Let's not forget. If you've got lucky enough to have some nice storage, you obviously want to label everything. Then this would be a perfect opportunity for you to do that.
So once again, I'm just coming in with my watercolour palette. It's so easy to use. You don't have to be super good at painting. You don't even have to stay in the lines.
No, that's true.
You can make it all your own style.
Now we're just about to hit 30% of the stock having gone for these brand new stamps. Now there's another show today, isn't there?
There is at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
So I don't think it'll sell out before then, but it could sell out during then. So if you want to enjoy what will remain of that 4 o'clock show, my advice is place your order now, come back, enjoy the demonstrations, and let other people worry about it selling out. We've got bigger things to worry about.
Is it on catch-up?
Oh, you want to catch up? Yes, that's true. Yes, it'll be over on Craft Extra, of course.
So with these multimedia brushes, you've got so many different nibs, which is fantastic. So for this fine detail, I'm literally just dabbing.
Yes.
I'm not being exact, just dabbing. And when I let that dry, it'll have just enough colour in the right place.
Dabbing when Dan Bancross around, he'll start doing that. He's very much up to date with his social media trends. Is Dan? He's still wondering what the fox says. If you remember that.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah.
Still remembering that. He's still doing the bottle challenge as well. So if it's on social media about 2 years ago, Dan's all over it. Guaranteed.
So what I've done is I've gone ahead, because you don't want to just sit and watch me colour. Although I need to add some green to that one. I missed the green. I've created my letters, and these kind of cards come together so easily and so quickly. If you're a batch maker, this is perfect, because you just set up your load and fold.
Yes, true.
And then just stamp, and then colour all at once.
Do you think, if you wanted to, you talked about cards earlier on, about very young people, alphabets and stuff. Won't these also be, I'm just wondering how you can incorporate these onto wooden blocks? Actual wooden blocks that they could stack up on top of each other. I guess you could just
You could just stamp.
onto them.
Yeah, you could just stamp straight onto it. So if you've got a steady hand and you feel comfortable with an acrylic block, obviously these work perfectly fine with acrylic blocks.
Yeah.
So you could stamp onto anything. And actually, you saying a wooden block, what I would do is I'd stamp my image onto it, and then I'd use one of the heat tools to burn it into it.
Yes, I was just thinking, what's that called? What's going on?
I forget.
We're getting the plates out for dinner.
Oh, Sam.
Yes, I know. Oh, Sam, disappointing.
Oh, I
He's
love
training
him.
up a
Love
young
him.
floor manager today as well. But you're just showing you how to cut corners. That's what you do.
Also, essentials must have foam pads, and actually these foam pads are really decent. I've had some foam pads in the past which just aren't quite thick enough, so you have to kind of layer them up. Craft ones, perfect.
Yes, they're well worth going for. It's just getting busier and busier now for that stamp collection. I think when it said earlier on, about 30% of that stock has gone. There is another show later, but I think it may well sell out during that show. So, if you want to enjoy more of the demonstrations, particularly if you record the shows, you know, most people do that, at least half of you, it's the best way to do it. And place your order nice and early. That means when you watch it back, you know when you're watching normal TV, they're amongst friends here, right? We're watching TV where they've got adverts, right? Who watches adverts when you record the show? No one.
Go make a cup of tea.
Well, you fast forward, don't you? You fast forward through it. That's what you do. Same here. So if you record the show, you can fast forward through my boring bits, but when it comes to the good stuff with the guest, then you can watch those particular bits. Upstairs, wish they had that. They wish they could fast forward all the presenters. They really, really do. The woman up there with a Sky remote from 2002, desperately trying. No one's told them there's been no batteries in it since 2001, but we still need to keep them distracted in some way, shape or form.
Sorry, I'm just trying to tie a bow. It's always very difficult when you're under pressure.
Well, and also, I have to say, those nails are magnificent.
They are, and I wouldn't normally have them. It's just I had an event at the weekend.
Yes.
And I haven't had a chance to have them changed.
They are amazing.
Yeah, they are. I coach a local cheerleading team, and we had our awards evening.
Oh, did you?
Just to celebrate like the achievements for the year. So
nice.
yeah,
all good.
Got some girls having like won some lovely awards for their dedication to the sport,
right.
And so.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for?
I was a cheerleader myself for 15 years.
Right.
And I've been a coach for about 5.
I imagine you have to be extremely fit to do it, right?
You do, although I'm not extremely fit at the moment.
Well, no, I know, yes, you're carrying it. Sporting an injury at the moment.
Yeah.
But I imagine you have to be really fit to do it.
Yeah. My girls train really, really hard.
Right, okay.
And I'm very proud of them all. Yeah.
There are some questions upstairs, Tara.
Oh,
okay. If you weren't injured, we're not going to ask you, can you do a backflip?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would hurt myself.
Okay, put that trumpet away. Put it away.
Sorry.
We don't. No.
I'm not fit enough for that.
Don't do it. Okay.
I could probably just about do the splits still.
Oh, you can do it. Well, that's more than I can do. Put away that glitter cannon. We don't know. Not going to do it. She's not going to do it. Put that away. Save it when Martin's next on, which is on next hour actually. Put it on. We'll set it off there.
So this card has come together really, really quickly.
Very nice.
Bit of yellow ribbon to tie in with the theme, because I've gone for yellow, but you could make that in so many different colours.
That is a stylish card, right?
And I love doing cards where you can just change the colour, because I've got, at my classes, I have one lovely lady who I'll produce something, she goes, oh, I don't like that colour, so I give her a different colour, and then she's just like, yes, because she's a blue person, a bit like me.
Oh, okay.
But I try not to make everything in blue.
Yeah,
I love blue.
Alright, so approaching 40% of the stock of those stamps having gone, so this is the first show. There's another show at 4 p.m. this afternoon, so I don't think we've got enough to last the entire day. So I guess we should get on with another demo. So what do we do next?
So when I was talking this morning, I said about home decor, so I thought I'd love this as bunting.
Right,
for a child's nursery, so we're going to make a small amount of bunting.
Oh, nice. Oh, yes, that's a very good idea, actually, on bunting. Or if you wanted to create like a frieze at the top of a nursery.
Yeah. So letters going up all around. Also, if you've got a wedding, you can make wedding bunting. So I just think this particular like lettering just lends itself to that lovely opportunity to just create something beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, don't forget, we've got another great show on the horizon. Who's with Mr. Martin Parker coming up next, which is Saturday's pick of the week. But join us at 12 and at 1, because we've actually got 2 specialist mixed media shows coming your way.
So I'm just going to do the A, B, and C. Otherwise, you could do the whole alphabet. Obviously, we're restricted on time today.
Yes, of course.
So we will do 3. But you can, because there's numbers in this set as well.
Yes, true.
In the lowercase set, there is a set of numbers which you could do your numbers. At the moment, my little boy is learning his alphabet and learning his numbers.
Good.
And I just think this is a fun way for him to do it.
But I also think as well, and I'm not a teacher, but I also imagine as well, because they're not just, I don't know, I mean, okay, this is pure speculation. Because there is a pattern on board as well, would they become more memorable, more recognisable in that respect? I don't know.
I think they could be. If we were speaking earlier, I can't remember if I mentioned it on air or off, but if you stamp this up and give it to kids and get them to colour it in themselves, it might be.
I think that's where it starts to stick. I remember doing that when I was younger. I think colouring in letters, I seem to remember doing.
I know lots of little girls who would love to play with this. And actually, they could load and fold, very easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Not very messy.
No,
unless you're me.
Particularly if they could make their name.
They can, exactly.
Because you've got a real nice, you've got a wide range of names now, haven't you? I think, and there are certain names that become more popular.
Well, like my son's name Theo wasn't. I didn't really know anybody with the name Theo until now.
Theo, or is it full name Theodore?
No, it's Theo. It's Theo. So I've already pre-cut out a couple of elements to make these. So I have got like a bunting.
Was that a
style.
die? Or was that
It's a die. It's a die. It's a die I have, but Scan and Cut do have this shape, or you can create it. A scallop edge, and we're just going to pop that all up together with foam pads.
Yes.
You can colour it in any way which you like. So watercolour pencils, watercolour palette. It is entirely up to you. Try and get it lined up. Try.
I wonder if you had, my mind's gone blank, like a fabric ink. Oh, I'll tell you what would work. If you got hold of the Screen Sensation pens that we had earlier, the fabric pens, and you coloured on top of these, you could then put it onto fabric then, couldn't you? Yeah. That would work.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see why not. You can actually, if it stays on, you can stamp onto fabric. So you could stamp onto fabric
and then use a pen to colour it. That's the way to do it.
So, you know, there's so many options. So many options. Yeah, like I said, I was really chuffed when I found out I was doing this.
No,
I found out last minute, but I was very chuffed.
Welcome to the weird and wonderful world of on-screen presentation.
Yes.
It's always last minute.
I love it. Love it. I work best like that, to be fair. It's all good fun.
It is.
So there we go. I'm not going to colour it in because you've seen me colour it.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think it looks lovely.
Got just a little bit of string.
Twine across the top. Now, we all draw one from a cup of chance. We need to get a cup of chance.
Christ, it's that time already.
I know. But that's a good sign. I always say that's a sign. It shows that you're having fun, hopefully.
I love it.
The reason this is watching the show actually is more and more people have seen what these can do. Makes sense. A lot of people are adding this into their basket.
I don't blame them.
Be back at 4.
Back at 4.
To show some more demonstrations. So if you order it now, make sure you join us at 4 p.m. You'll see some more demonstrations with Kelly. As your hands are full, shall I draw the winner?
Oh yes, please. Do you mind reading it?
No. I'll go right to the bottom. I'll literally scrape the bottom of the barrel for the first time, Sam, before you chip in. Linda from Cambridgeshire. Congratulations to you, Linda. You will receive one of the cards that Kelly has made. All right.
I haven't quite got there in time, but almost. Grab that in.
Hold that there. Perfect. Nicely done. Brilliant. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Oh, thank you.
See you. So I'll see you 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. All right. Or you can watch the show back on Craft Extra. Don't miss out on the opportunities at 3